Yo, what's up, everybody? It's a special day. We back, man. It's your boy Cigar Mick.
It's Cigar Banker, people.
Cigar Banker's in the house, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's time for another Cigars and Conversation with a puff a minute. You know what I'm saying? We're going to tone it down. I got some feedback from the last show, man. I came a little hard at him, man. Some folks said I was being political, but I really wasn't, man. I was just being honest. But sometimes in America today, people don't appreciate honesty, man. They try to make it.
It's getting a little sensitive.
Yeah, they're a little sensitive. We're gonna stroke y'all a little bit today, man. Just make you feel good and stuff. We're gonna talk about entertainment a little bit. You know. But before we get started, man, let's talk about what we smoking. You know. Go ahead, man. Rock it.
Yeah. So today I got this nice Avo Classic. So people that know Avo comes from the Davidoff line. So it's got Dominican roots. This is actually another one of these blends I'm telling you I'm falling in love with.
Yeah.
So this has actually a Dominican filler with the Piloto Cubano filler.
Wow. Okay.
But also has the Ecuadorian wrapper. So Ecuadorian Connecticut. So it's a nice mellow smoke, lots of flavors. Not really my size and gauge I usually go with.
Right.
But this was a gift to me, so I'm going to try it and see what I think about it.
Yeah.
Got a buddy that like Avos a lot, so he keep giving them to me. So I said, okay, I'll smoke it because it's Avo, but, a little different gauge than I usually go with.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
That looks like a really fine stick, man. Very interesting. Complex, complex stick right there.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going with, as y'all can see, man, I've been on this foundation tip for a minute, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm rocking the foundation Guaguanese t-shirt, man. I'm rocking my foundation hat. Yeah. And right now, today, I'm going with this Tabernacle, man. Very, very special stick. Shout out to my man, Nick Melillo, Foundation Cigars and stuff. So today, bro, I got the Tabernacle, you know what I'm saying, which is a beautiful, beautifully constructed cigar, man. A heavy Maduro, man, I would say, kind of full bodied. On the outside, man, the wrapper is that Connecticut broadleaf, which is really big, man, to Nick, man, because Nick worked with the farmers in Connecticut, man, for like 10 years, man, when he was first getting started in the industry, and then the let me see, the filler is Nicaraguan from 3 different regions. Out there. Esteli is probably one of the biggest regions down there, but it's from 3 different regions. And then the binder itself is, I want to say, Mexican Andres.
Yeah.
So it's a very well-constructed stick, man. Very, you can see there, man, it's got some heavy veins in there and stuff like that. It draws really well. And again, it holds its ash, man. It's just something about these foundations right now, bro, that I'm having, I can't get off them right now.
And there's not a lot of people that use a broadleaf because the broadleafs are they only use those in certain periods.
Yeah.
So it's a lot harder to find the broadleaf smokes. But if you find them, like that, that's mass produced right there.
Exactly.
So, Nick doing his thing with those joints, man.
Exactly, man. Great point. Great point. Yeah. Well stuff, man. So, but man, before we even get started, man, talking about what we're gonna talk about, man, it's good to have you back, man. People have been missing you.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
The show ain't been the same without the banker.
It ain't been the same. You know what I'm saying? It ain't been the same. And folks is like, I don't want people to think that there was an issue that we fell out of some nonsense like that.
Never that.
Cigar Banker's got some other ventures going on right now that's taking them away and stuff like that. Talk a little bit about the newest venture you and your wife got going right now.
With the wife's home-based business.
Yes.
Yeah. So wifey started a home-based business, selling a boutique brand out of the house. It's called LuLaRoe. Some ladies may be familiar with it. But yeah, she loves it, man. Been helping her get her thing off the ground, get it started.
Yeah.
Just trying to do my stuff too. I got back into community service work. Right. I can't really say got back into it. I never really left.
Right. Yeah.
But really picking up and finding my lane.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what's the future for Cigar Banker. You know what I mean?
Man.
We always got big plans, man.
Absolutely.
We always got big things going.
There's always going to be love. There's always going to be support, man. There's always going to be like trying to push to the next level. You know what I'm saying? So, man, just glad to have you back in the chair.
Absolutely, bro. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure,
It is what it is.
It's always good when I get to link up with my boy. We get to have good convo. I got to call you on the phone because I can't come sit down and get on the camera. But I was like, bro, what you think about this?
Exactly.
And you can tell, bro, it's the truth, right? I was texting him the other night. I was like, hey, man, you seen this yet?
Exactly.
So, yeah. I miss having them conversations, but definitely we still talk. We still do our thing when the camera ain't on. So.
I just need them to know, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We already know. It is what it is, man. I want to give a quick shout out, man, to a lot of the events that's been going on, man, this past weekend, man. I want to say A special shout out to the Ashing Out group, man. They did a Valentine's Day hearth at the Sahara on Valentine's Day, and bro, it was a great turnout. You know, lots of people came out, man. Lots of cool folk. Great conversations, man. You know, great you know, cigars and, you know, all of that type of stuff. And then Saturday, you know, the Sin City Cigar group had an event at the Saki Rock, on the roof over there at Saki Rock. Again, wonderful turnout, man. Great time had by all. And then last night, you know, what's very interesting is there's a group also here in Las Vegas called Cigars and Convo.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with Our Cigars and Conversation, the title of this show. But we went down to support them last night, and they did an event in conjunction with another group called Conversations with a Twist. And I want to say, man, I want to shout them out because they did a very fine job, man, of controlling a conversation. And, you know, sometimes it can be, some of these topics can be challenging. Especially like yesterday, it was on intimacy and relationships and stuff like that. And you have people from all different walks of life in the room, and people have different views and perspectives, you know. But it was very well done. Like I said, man, I just wanted to give them a shout out. Congratulations, it was very well done, and move forward, man. You know. And yeah, it was something. It was something, man. You know, I really appreciate being a part of that.
And it's hard to do something like that where you have an actual real live conversation in front of a live audience and try to control that, because you know how that goes. Once you give people opportunity to speak, sometimes things get out of hand. So,
right. You know, but yeah, I mean, you know, I want to say Keith and Brandon from Cigars and Convo, and Nisi Walker, man, from Cigars with a Twist. They're all entertaining in their own right. You know what I'm saying? So it made it really fun.
That's cool.
You know, and enjoyable to be a part of that stuff, man. So you hit me up the other day and you asked me my thoughts on the Netflix release, Who Killed Malcolm X.
Yes.
Wow, man.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. You know, so, I mean, before we get into it, I want to say that growing up in New Jersey, northern Jersey, that Malcolm was an icon. He still is. Still is. You know, growing up, I celebrated Malcolm's birthday. You know, I mourned his death date. You know what I'm saying? He was just somebody that, you know, we were not even taught or conditioned, man, but he was just somebody that held a lot of weight in the community. You know, so, you know, for somebody to revisit this, you know, so many years later and really look into the circumstances behind his demise is pretty amazing, because I don't know why, you know, but for whatever reason, that's something that we never really thought about. You know, people are always saying, "Oh, you know, who shot JFK?"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or, you know, or who really shot Dr. Martin Luther King? But when it came to, you know, Malcolm X, man, Malik El Haj Shabazz, man, or what have you, man. When it came to Malcolm X, man, it was like nobody really looked deeper. We just accepted, you know, what we were told, what the government said, or what have you, that he was shot by a faction of the Nation of Islam.
Right.
You know, so you know, so to me, I thought it was well done. But before we get too deep, man, what do you think?
So the reason I hit you up was specifically because of the ties to Jersey, right? And the conspiracy that went on. I said, okay, a dude from Jersey that was ingrained in the neighborhood, ingrained in what was going on in the community at that time, because it's your father with the liquor store and all these other things, right? So it was like, okay, I know Mick knows something or heard something or something. So, and sure enough, you had specific ties to people that made the film, people that appeared in the film. But my thoughts off of the whole thing were, like you said, why did we never revisit who actually killed Malcolm X?
Yeah.
But the movie enlightened something for me, or the documentary, I should say, it was several series episodes. But what I would say is that it enlightened for me because we always had the conspiracy, right, that J. Hoover and the FBI were the only ones really responsible for killing Malcolm X.
Yeah.
And then you say, okay, yeah, the police also had something to do with it.
Right.
Okay, we knew that side of it.
Exactly.
But then when you started tying in the fact that these Muslims quite possibly had nothing to do with the FBI or the police, but they accomplished the mission of the police without probably even really knowing it. That was something that really woke me up, where it was like, okay, you can get real ingrained in saying, I just hate the FBI, I hate police and all of this, but you really have to consider the possibility that these Muslims really did act on their own, or these brothers from the Nation of Islam really acted on their own and decided to take Malcolm out because of what he did. And his real big crime was speaking out against they prophet, they founder.
Right.
So,
you know, one of the things that stood out in the beginning, that really was something that you really, I mean, you thought about it like with the movie that Denzel did and stuff like that, but it really didn't capture the anguish of Malcolm. You know, those last couple of weeks of his life. That mental anguish, man. That stood out to me from the very beginning of it. And I think even during the documentary, that someone said that, you know, that they believed that Malcolm was starting to go insane, like lose it. You know what I'm saying? When you think about the pressure, man, that everything that he knew, everything that he, you know, he based his entire life on, and not half-stepping, like 100%. He was in at the end when the brother said he was a straight man in a crooked game. You know what I'm saying? That stood out because Malcolm was all, he didn't realize everything else that was going on. So when they stripped him of his, you know, his ability, and he yielded to that. They said, hey, you know, we're going to silence you for, you know, a number of days, and we don't want you speaking publicly. And he was like, okay, he submitted to it. But when he realized that they weren't going to let him back, and this, that, and other thing, and he had been sidelined altogether after everything that he did. Like, he literally made the NOI viable, bro. You know what I'm saying?
The numbers of people that
he brought in, the numbers of temples that he dedicated and what have you, a mosque, I'm sorry, but the number of mosques that he dedicated and what have you, it was, you know, there was a lot of jealousy there. And he knew that people were jealous, but he wasn't really concerned about it because he knew where he was at. But then to strip you of your home, man, you know what I'm saying, and tell you got to get out the house. The only source of income that people forget that before that, Malcolm's only source of income was taking your money. He
came out, he had no source of income. I think it was one point in the film they said that people didn't even know Malcolm only had $50 to his name at one point before he passed. He couldn't buy life insurance because they knew, because the life insurance companies knew he was a liability.
They knew that people wanted him out. Wanted to take him out and stuff like that, bro. So again, when you break all of that down, I feel like the film was extremely well done. I want to give a shout out to the producer, the executive producer, Phil Bertelson, who, you know, just happens to be the family member of one of my best friends growing up. You know, so I definitely want to say, and it was that family member who hit me up and, you know, was like, hey, have you seen this yet? You know, so I was like, wow, you know, right after you, and I'm like, man, everybody's telling me about this, so I need to go ahead and check this out. I was glued. At the end of the documentary, emotionally, brother, I was spent, man. I was sad. I was angry. I was, you know, hurt. It was I was going through a myriad of emotions, man, while watching that. I was intrigued, but I was also extremely appreciative of the effort that went into making that documentary, man. So yeah, for me, brother, that said it all, bro. It was awesome. The brother Talbot Hair, right? Talbot Hair. A lot of this stuff is close to home, right? I should say, because you made it sound like I was there, right? So Malcolm died a year before I was born.
A lot younger, you know. But I'm just saying the connections, right? So a lot of those brothers that were living during that time are now in their 80s and maybe in their 90s, right? So they have kids and grandkids that are still being entrenched in this. There's still that silence about Malcolm, right? And even in the film, you saw it was like, hey, leave it alone. How many brothers did that dude go talk to and they was like, leave it alone? You know, so that the fact that it's still so entrenched in what's going on in Jersey even today, you know, the fact he was in the Cory Booker, you know, the supposed shotgun man was in an ad for Cory Booker, right?
Exactly.
So,
you know, Yeah, getting on like I said, the family, Talbot Hare and his family. Well, my brother was friends with Talbot Hare's brother.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So again, it's close to home. Patterson is only but so big. You know, there was another young man that they didn't really focus on in the documentary that was named by Talbot Hare, who his last name was Thomas, and they showed that he lived on. Oh man, I want to say, I don't know if it was Madison Ave or it was a major street right there in the city. But again, know the family. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, there was so much in there, man, that it was just like popping out to me, man. That was bringing it home and stuff like that. I know that mosque in Newark, New Jersey. You know, it was just so much, man. But the way that, like you said, and again, I don't want to even bring up his name or anything like that, but the gentleman that was alleged the shotgun man, right? Because it was the fatal shotgun blows that literally ended up taking Malcolm's life. He lived out in the open.
Yeah.
And a lot of people knew, or I don't even know if I can say that they knew, but but a lot of people, suspected and believed that he was that person. But they was just like, don't ask, don't ask, don't tell. And they're like, if he's out here walking around, he's probably being protected.
Somebody said that towards the end of the documentary, right?
You know, they told him, they said, you need to back off because he's probably being protected. Well, protected by whom?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, the FBI, the government. So the education, and I know I'm all over the place, when they were talking about the seed dropping campaign. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
How people are dropping seeds and stuff, and it's going to Elijah Muhammad and said, did you hear what Malcolm said about you? And this, that, and another thing. Well, the crazy thing about it was the FBI was recording all of this.
Yes.
And I feel like they took that and they utilized it to a greater level. And they became the seed droppers.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And they manipulated everybody.
And they had so many
including
people infiltrate not only the camp of Elijah Muhammad, but then had people in the camp with Malcolm X.
Exactly.
His head of security that was there that day when Malcolm was killed was sitting right there with him.
Was an agent.
And was trying to resuscitate him.
Yes.
You know?
And they're like, why are you trying to save him?
Yes.
Yeah.
They did what we were supposed to do.
That blew my mind, bro.
You trying to help the bad guy.
Yeah.
He was like, he got too entrenched in it. And he was no longer a good agent to them at that point.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, man. Like I said, it was pretty amazing to see. And, if you haven't watched it yet, I highly recommend it. Malcolm X is one of those rare individuals that we were blessed with here on the earth, where he was vilified when he was alive, and then now people study him and study his life, and he's more of a hero, right? And with this being Black History Month and all of that, I highly recommend that. People forget that everybody celebrates Martin Luther King, Dr. Martin Luther King, but when he was living, he wasn't celebrated like that. You know what I'm saying? There was a reason why he was also marked by Hoover and and all of that type of stuff, and they did everything they could to vilify him. The same way I feel like they tried to vilify Malcolm X. But when the life of Malcolm X, to me, is the epitome of potential, right? First unrealized, and then potential realized. To the point where he just literally went full circle.
Right.
And I think that is inspirational to whoever you are, regardless of your race.
Yeah. And Jay-Z tried to do it, right? He flipped his life around, but I don't think anyone has ever come out and spoken and given a message and influenced people as much as Malcolm ever did, and making that full, I won't even say 180, it was like a 360, because the brother, like you said, just as entrenched as he was in the criminal life, he was probably even more so entrenched in being a good part of the NOI, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and like he said himself, before all this happened, all my words were the teachings of Elijah Muhammad.
Exactly.
He never said Malcolm said this and Malcolm said that. He said the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us this, that, and the other.
How rare that is, though? For somebody to really diminish themselves and build somebody and edify someone else.
Everything he said started with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Tells us this, teaches us that. And then, but to be vilified, like you said.
You know what I'm saying? The power of the oratory. Even though the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was the head you know, not the founder, but the head of the Nation of Islam, when you saw him speaking to the crowds, and you saw Malcolm speaking to the crowds, there was a total different, aspect to it. You know what I'm saying? His words were words. Malcolm's words were powerful.
Yeah.
They went straight to the heart of man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Malcolm was a motivator, man. And again, he was a teacher. He was a motivator. He just really spoke to he spoke to the issues head on, and his courage was just like infectious.
Yeah.
Because we didn't speak like that back then.
No. And that was several people in the film said that. It was like the reason why Malcolm spoke to us so much is because you didn't hear, even the maker of the film said that.
Exactly.
As a young man, he's like, you didn't hear people speaking like this, talking out publicly about the police, talking about being proud to be black. Why is your hair like that? Why are you pretending to be white when you black and you're beautiful and you're powerful?
Right.
Even today you don't hear messages like that.
Yeah.
How often do we teach ourselves knowledge of ourselves?
Right.
And understand that power.
Yeah.
And just like everybody thinks when he went to Mecca, right, that he flip-flopped and became something else. No, he evolved. He evolved even further after his trip to Mecca.
Exactly.
It was just so many things in that film, bro. It was like, I've read the documentary of Malcolm X, but the film just like, it is like, bam. It was like, okay, this dude, like, and like you talk,
it was a whole nother level.
Yeah, and like we talk about, he was losing it towards the end because of all the pressure. Like, I mean, the brother some of the things he was saying in public speeches, and even he gave a speech the day after his house was bombed.
Yeah.
Was a firebombed.
Exactly.
And he couldn't even hardly speak. He couldn't get the words out.
Right. Exactly.
It was just, the brother was going through it, man.
He was losing it.
He was going through it.
In that last day, man, I feel like he knew it. He knew something.
And everybody around him knew it. None of the speakers came that was supposed to be there.
They didn't show up.
His security even said it felt like death was just on Malcolm that day.
Exactly.
It just felt like that.
And that's why he wanted Betty and the girls to come down. He wanted to lay eyes on them one more time. I mean, that's my belief, man. Like, he knew it was coming. So, yeah.
And strong woman she is, right? I don't think they could have done a better job of highlighting who Betty Shabazz was. She really showed what it means to have a strong husband and be a strong wife that supports.
Agreed.
So
agreed. She's like, they said that he bombed his own house. I guess now they're gonna say he shot himself.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that was powerful.
Yeah,
really, man. I appreciate you coming out, chopping it up with me on it, man. Hey, everybody, y'all know what it is, man. It's another Puff a Minute. It's Cigars and Conversation. We out here. This is what we do. To follow us on all social media. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag a Puff a Minute on everything. So if you're not there on YouTube, man, go to YouTube and get that, man. Follow the Spotify that's up there. You know what I'm saying? Continue to watch us on the IGTV channel. And just Facebook, man. We put up a lot of good conversational pieces up there as well. We're going to keep doing what we're doing out here. We appreciate you. Support, guys. You know what I'm saying? So, all the different outlets that you could support us on. I really appreciate it, man. Get those t-shirts while you can.
Talking about the new merch, man.
The new hats is coming out, man. I'll probably have those up on the website this week as well. So definitely get your stuff, man, and just keep supporting the effort out here. Alright, with that, man, I'm about to bounce, man. You ready?
Yeah, we did it, man.
Alright, man. It's your man, Cigar Mick.
It's Cigar Banker, people.
Another Puff a Minute, Cigars and Conversation. We out, y'all. Peace.